in, 0 in. Both the boys and round one in. Gonna find that king and find her out. Put the ball in the pocket and knock them all down. Gonna bring it up. Let's rock them up. Gonna bring it up. Let's bring them up. Get ready to bowl now. Strike out the day. Get ready to bowl. Strike out the day.
And there she is, ladies and gentlemen, that beautiful city by the lake here in Ontario, Toronto, Canada, a city of nearly 3 million in population who enjoy living here, and we enjoy our trip back to this great city. Club 300 Bowl, first time the PBA members have come here for a championship. It's a $200,000 event, and we look forward to getting to the finals. The capacity crowd here, Bull Burton and I are happy to be with you. So let's get to the 4 finalists and the King of the Hill. Here we go. First up, it'll be a battle of left-handers as Brad Snell of Elk Grove, Illinois, will face the PBA president Mike Aulby of Indianapolis. The winner of that will face two-time champion Bob Vespi of Coral Springs, Florida. Our tournament leader is making his first appearance of the year this week. Triple Crown winner Pete Weber of Missouri, and the newly crowned IOF Foresters Open champ will face reigning King of the Hill, Ballard Jr. Also enjoying it north of the border is my colleague Nelson Burton Jr. Bo.
You're right, Chris. It's been a terrific week here. Week 15, 1993 PBA Tour, and it has everything in the top 4 today. We have a couple of lefties, a couple of millionaires. We have Mr. Strike Ball and Bob Vespi back, Pete Weber back in the #1 position, Ballard at the King of the Hill. A lot of money at stake, Chris, and a lot of excitement leading up to the Firestone.
Out of that $200,000 total, 43 will go to the winner, 22.5 for the runner-up, 13 and 10. So the loser of this first event will get $10,000. Mike Aulby, 21-time champion, going against a non-national winner, Brad Snell. 2 left-handers, and DePrexy will bowl first. Alby. All but the 10 pin.
Alby with that wide sweeping hook. You'll see both of the left-handers playing the very tenuous outside line. The right-handers who are Vespi and Weber and Ballard at King of the Hill playing a much bigger hook, but starting it for the center and going very wide. So a tremendous angle to the pocket for Mike Aulby. A simple spare to start the match, the 10.
Come on, now.
Okay, the game is on here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Brad Snell of Elk Grove, Illinois is a 33-year-old professional. He has 12 regional titles. His best finish thus far this year, 16th in Las Vegas. Far to the left. First shot for Brad. What a follow-through and finish.
Terrific finish, Chris. As you just noted, it's a 5-step delivery, very steady. This fellow has really worked on his game, but a good arm position, a good leg position, but watch his knee bend as he drives through and gets so low, and then he makes it even more pronounced after he lets go of the ball. And you can see his position throughout the tournament, steady through 42 games.
Re-rack, and taking plenty of time, drawing that left hand into the holes and ready to shoot. And the bucket for the left-hander.
The 3-5-6-9, and you saw that ball look like it wanted to make it up to the pocket. However, it didn't make it. These lanes are very, very oily, and he needs to get the ball right in there in the 3-pin, drive the 3 back into the 9, avoid the chop of the 5. And Chris, one thing we can watch for today is medium speed. You cannot throw with this very hard with all the oil they have on today's lanes.
Brad Snell, a 2-year associate degree in liberal arts from Harper College in Palatine, Illinois. From capital city of Indianapolis, Mike Aulby. 2-4-7.
Drifting a little high. Alby with just a very smooth, methodical style. Footwork is a key for Alby. He's very meticulous with his footwork, is in good position here as he drives straight through, but he hits the line very solid, good knee bend, and now the ball with that soft speed, high for the 2-4-7. A little more difficult spare than he had in the first frame.
Mike Aulby, who is the Goodwill Ambassador for the IOF Foresters Bowling for Miracles program, and Children's Miracle Network being benefited today and this week by the event staged here at Club 300 Bowl, about 45 minutes from downtown Toronto, Bo.
Beautiful town. Some of the players went out to the ball game, as you see Mike Aulby with the full grip, fingers tucked in very tight, both the index finger and the baby finger in close to cut your hook down.
And now the 10 pin is added to the 2-4-7. Oh.
Well, really, this is what he had left in the first two frames combined. He leaves them all in one frame. Aulby with that soft speed. He doesn't like to go with hard speed. Has left the 2-4-7 and the 10. Get the ball to the left of the 2 pin. Drive that 2 into the 10. Tough shot.
So for the man who holds the record and the amount of money earned, nearly $300,000 in 1 year, Bowler of the Year, Rookie of the Year, it is an open frame and immediately trails by 19. Oh, Bo, we got a lot of spare split shooting here today.
Old saying in golf and bowling, never up, never in. Well, these players are sure getting it up. They've been right through the middle. As you see the ball cut through the heart, leaving the 2-7. You tack this just like you would the 2-4-7. Let the ball touch the 2 pin on the left side and deflect into the 7.
So, Brad Snell earlier explained to us why he went to his trademark deep knee bend release.
Well, Bo, I had a problem when I was younger at raising up at the foul line at the point of release, and a lot of the better bowlers in the area and some other instructors told me that I'd have much more success at my game if I tried to stay down, and that seemed to be the style that worked out for myself.
And if you pull out of the shot too quickly or pull up at the foul line, you'll pull the ball right of target. He needs to stay down.
And as you saw, that one nearly went in. What a comeback after an open frame. Brad Snell going against Mike Aulby. Now, friends, when you check the Toronto skyline, you can't miss the CN Tower. It's next to the Sky Dome. Home to the Blue Jays, the world champions.
Presenting the Yardman 3-in-1 self-propelled mower. It mulches, bags, discharges, has a 6-speed drive, and a ferocious 5-horsepower engine, all for the price of much tamer mowers. Yardman mowers and tractors, made in America.
Usually Johnny sprays the Krylon spray paint and I get it on me. Not this time.
Look, no runs, no drips, no errors. Dries to the touch in minutes.
The other brand's tacky.
Good job.
I'm a pro.
For a fast, smooth, professional finish, get Krylon.
Around the turn of the century, in a small Detroit carriage shop, Harvey Firestone met a fellow young inventor named Henry Ford. Firestone tires have been seen almost everywhere ever since. On Fords, Chevrolets, tractors, trucks, Indy Lights, and Saturns. Firestone, America's tire since 1900.
Brave athletes challenge the notion that Kellogg's Frosted Flakes are just for kids.
I play for the Mariners, but deep down, I'm a Tiger fan. Oh, go on. Frosted Flakes have the taste adults have grown to love. They're great.
Full house at Clump 300 Bowl in Markham, Ontario, Canada. 6 pins separating Mike Aulby, 21-time champion, against a non-winner, Brad Snell. 2 Midwesterners here in Canada, shooting in the 4th frame after an open Alby. As you can tell, he has his fans here. All right, Mike Aulby's involved extensively in charity work, including the Children's Miracle Network, affiliated with the IOF Foresters.
Well, the Foresters are a benefit organization who help children and families in need, and a non-for-profit organization. They came on with a PBA to help raise interest in their Bowling for Miracles program, which raises money for the Children's Miracle Network, which is also our main charity. I represent the bowling industry along with them at the telethon in Disneyland.
And Mike is the type guy that represents the industry, himself, his family beautifully.
Boy, he makes his first double, and he uses a little extra ball speed to hold the line, and he really does a job on the 6 pin. That 5 just jumps all over it. Aulby likes it. He now leads by 4. Snell can retake the lead here with a strike.
Oh, the scout was there, but it's a 10 pin.
Jeez, Chris, we have synthetic lanes today, and we bowled on those about 1 out of every 3 weeks on the Professional Bowlers Tour in the past year. And one thing we see is a lot more pin action. The 6 pin on the right-hand part of your screen will just fly out of there as the head pin drives the 3 back into it. Good pin action helps you for higher scores in the long run, but every once in a while you're penalized for a very good shot. That happened to Snell on that particular frame.
Our championship pair here, lanes 11 and 12, are just 2 of the 60 in this house that looks as though it's long enough that you could land a Cessna 182 inside here. Boy, it looks huge, doesn't it?
Very nice bowling center, Chris. Well laid out, and it's a freestanding building on the 2nd floor, so there's really nothing underneath it but a parking lot. Makes for very good bowling. Great crowds here all week long. Not disappointed in the action. All the matches have been close leading up to this, and this one's no different. Through 5 frames, only 4 pins separate the players.
All right, it's a 3 pin for Brad Snell, who 5'11", 170 pounds. The pinfall you hear in that case was the practice shots of Pete Weber, a tournament leader, and Bob Vespi, our number 2, is just throwing a practice shot.
Snell not getting untracked as he leaves the 3 pin. He's been high on this lane previously. A little extra ball speed. You can see the tension in his face as he's a little bit confused. Has this spare in hand.
Okay. Careful preparation by Mike Aulby in grooming the bowling ball, legally, of course.
Aulby with a 5-pin lead. He's playing a much different line than we saw last week. He'll start in this area, slide in this area. His target will be just a real smooth release, down soft next to the foul.
So now for Alby, it's a 3-bagger and takes a 15-pin lead.
The man who is number 5 all-time money winner, his wife Tammy, watching him perform this week. His young son Christopher, who is just a mere 3 years old, watching his daddy perform in the background. Now Alby here, slide about right here, and watch how smoothly he lays the ball down for that outside line shot.
A 4-bagger and a 25-pin lead by Mike Aulby over Brad Snell. Well, spring is trying to arrive here, and the streets of Toronto are busy, as you see.
When kids come first, everyone wins. Hi, this is Marie Osmond for the IOF Foresters Bowling for Miracles Bowl-a-thon. Hospitalized kids in your community need your help, and you can do it while having fun and earning prizes, including a trip to join me at Disneyland for the Children's Miracle Network Telethon. The event is sponsored by the Independent Order of Foresters, a not-for-profit fraternal organization with more than 1 million members. Since 1874, whether it be tornado, flood, or personal tragedy, the IOF Foresters help members in times of need. IOF Foresters also support community projects that help families, such as effective parenting, free fingerprinting for children, and the Children's Miracle Network. You're invited to be a part of the IOF Foresters Bowling for Miracles. Come bowl with us. For more details, call today. Remember, a call starts you on your way to having fun while supporting your local children's hospital through the Children's Miracle Network.
It's wall-to-wall excitement as the world's top athletes meet in the finals of the Jeep Superstars, plus the last major Derby prep race, next on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
It is true that Wide World follows us. Good show today. Finals of the Jeep Superstars, Wood Memorial live from Aqueduct. Mario Lemieux. Great show. Just when he needed to strike with a spare up and with his opponent on a string of 4, what does Brad Snell of Illinois get? Oh, goodness, 6, 7, 10. He's giving it the long, hard look. Bowling ball is back, and here we go. To take a look at that again, ever so lightly, kissing the 6 pin, knocking out the 7. Heidi-ho, beautifully done. Okay, Bo, you like that, I know.
Thank you, Chris. Bob Vespi, that was a great shot that maybe your opponent has just played out there against Alby. However, you don't pay much attention to your opponents. You just yell at everything and your opponent. What is happening out there?
Well, it looks like the lanes are tightening up a little bit for both hands. I'm just going to go out there and be aggressive and see what happens.
Vespi's very aggressive, exciting player, Chris. He's up in the next match.
Yes, and they love him in Fort Lauderdale, especially the Sky Caps at Fort Lauderdale International Airport. He delights them when he comes through on his many trips off the bowl. Right now, Brad Snell, though, trying to knock down the 7. And he continues to mark. Boy, and after that conversion of the 6, 7, 10, the adrenaline should really be pumping. Hopefully his hopes, but here's Mike Aulby, 4 in a row in the 8th frame, 29-pin lead. Next Saturday on ABC Sports, we'll be in Akron for the crown jewel of the Pro Bowlers Tour. Yes, an elite field of champions take aim at the richest person bowling. It's the $300,000 Firestone Tournament of Champions. Next Saturday on ABC Sports. We hope you'll join us. Regular time, 3 Eastern.
Mike Aulby going at a 221 pace. Snell still has a chance for 202. Aulby, big advantage. Brad Snell, a very methodical bowler. He goes through the same routine every time, washing the oil off his ball. But he's playing a much farther outside line than Alby is. He's in this area, and he also rode very smoothly right around the 5th board, but he needs to get some strikes. Just couldn't get untracked in this first match. We used the 2, 4, 7, 8. Another tough combination over in the left-hand corner. Right now, Alby has match well in hand.
Brad Snell on the right lane now. Well, he's showing us some skill at spare making, Bo, here today.
Well, it's tough, Chris, when you're not on the championship round very often, and Brad has struggled somewhat in the last year or so. Gets his game untracked, and then the pressure of just the one-game match seems to have caused him to pull some balls, vary his speed. However, he'll learn from this, and he'll be back. A very solid player, has won 12 regional titles. He's in the Midwestern region. He gets plenty of competition. If we have to do tips, Chris, on the 2-4-8 combinations, we'll call Brad Snell. He's tough on those.
Oh, he truly is.
With a spare, he'd be in the 170s.
Two hockey fans going head-to-head here. This is a true Chicago Blackhawks fan. And Mike Aulby, well, he likes them all. And hockey coming up Sunday, right here, ABC. All right, the Pens jumped and danced, but too late. 175 for the Elk Grove, Illinois professional.
Aulby, after a shaky start through the first 3 frames, has strung 6 strikes together. If he can make it 9, he'd end up with a 251. A lopsided victory. He's got a very tough opponent in Vespi coming up.
All right. So it'll be a demonstrative Vespi against cool, collected Mike Aulby in our next match here in Canada.
There are a few American classics, but only one Kentucky Derby.
At the first tickly itch of athlete's foot, there's an X. Killing those grungy fungi before they get cracking and burning. Go get that can now, or else don't blame Desonex.
Red Devil Enamel. You can always count on its durable finish. Harder than ordinary paints, its beauty lasts and lasts. Red Devil Enamel for the finish of a lifetime.
You're on the set, and the lights come up, and the camera starts to roll. There's no place to hide. And even one flake of dandruff, even one, can ruin it all. That's why I use Head & Shoulders. You know, it's even better than it was just a couple of years ago. Today's Head & Shoulders gets to 10 times more of the places dandruff starts. Put it to the test. Prove it to yourself. Head & Shoulders and Head & Shoulders 2-in-1. Because great hair can't have flakes.
Saturday, an ABC special. We destroyed their island paradise. Now the natives are returning. But is it safe? Bikini Island, Forbidden Paradise, Saturday. Some people will only go to Texaco. Why?
Why? Are you kidding? Look at this cab. It's as clean as my fuel injectors.
System 3 gasoline helps restore performance to older models. I know about that. And Doritos. Ha ha!
Everybody gets what they want. Tommy gets pretzels, Dawn gets juice, Van gets System 3.
Visit your Texaco station and Food Mart for unbeatable System 3 gasolines and so much more.
I always come here to fill up. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're about to see the power of subliminal advertising.
Now, can you name bowling's hookingest and bashingest ball? It's the Rhino Pro line in several distinctive urethane formulations to improve any game. Catch the Rhino Pro at one of these official Rhino Pro shops.
Carl Ravitch has the scores and more on 27 News.
The Professional Rollers Tour, brought to you by Something Better Foam Protectant, the automotive protectant with staying power. By True Value. Got a tough job to do? You can do it with True Value hardware stores. And by Diet A&W Root Beer. Our frosty mug taste brings you back.
Alby defeating Brad Snell, 251, 9 strikes, to Snell's 175. So it'll be Alby, the PBA president, going against a demonstrative Bob Vespi of Florida.
Exciting match, Chris. And earlier this week at the Emmy Awards dinner, my friend, mentor, and partner, Chris Schenkel, of part of the last 4 decades, received a Lifetime Achievement Emmy for his more than 6 decades in sports broadcasting. Congratulations, Chris Schenkel.
Well, thank you. It was
this beautiful statue, Chris, and a wonderful inscription upon it, which was written, is just such a wonderful award. Excellence in sports broadcasting and all the other adjectives that go along with it. I'm sure you're proud, and your family is very proud of this award.
Well, I hope it helps Fran's broken ankle, my wife, heal, because, Fran, you're going to love this lady and our children. In fact, all the Schenkels will. And Bo, it's great working with you and all those other color analysts over the years. But I wasn't the only one that was honored in New York City. Bowling was really honored with ABC's Ball of Fire. Remember it from last year? Balls of Fire. It was so well done and so beautifully edited by 3 wonderful friends. Hector Casillian, who's out here on tour with us all the time. Alex Moskovic, whom I've worked with, many, many events, all kinds. And Carlo Gennarelli. Those 3 received Emmys for excellence in editing. So we're all grateful. And thank you for viewing this telecast every week.
Well done, partner. And right now, one of the feature matches of the day, the semifinal, Mike Aulby, number 5 all-time leading money winner, going against Mr. Strike Ball, Bob Vespi.
All right, after 9 strikes in his 251 victory over Brad Snell, Alby lets Vespi know that he's still on target. Here's Bob. Oh, yes. Was that a thing of beauty?
He is truly fun to watch, Chris. Just a unique style. Very confident, short backswing. Look at that bent elbow. That's how he can get this wrist to roll underneath the ball. And the man with 18-plus revolutions down a 60-foot lane can really move those pins. Nobody can outstrike this man when he gets going. He started with a perfect one.
Speaking of excellence, I want to thank all my ABC teammates over the years to help earn that honor, starting with Frank Burke's father, Dan, who happens to be president and CEO of this network, Carol Letty, our producer, and Larry Cam, who got the ball rolling way back. Look at that ball roll. We are all even. 2 strikes each.
Chris, the PBA gives away a diamond plus some money every week if you bowl a 300 game. That's if you get 12 strikes in a row in a game. However, there's an old, what we call a Vera Papa 300. Anytime you get 12 strikes in a row, we call it a Vera Papa 300. It's kind of an old anachronism that we have in the sport of bowling. And if Alby strikes here, he'll have a Vera Papa 300.
That was a Chris Schenkel shot.
Well, he gets a bad break. After getting 11 strikes in a row, he gets the wall shot 7-9. Alby will just go for 1 pin. And speaking of Chris Schenkel, people often ask me how your bowling is, Chris, and as I recall...
What do you tell them?
Well, I remember your game. It's a 177 average, and you played the big hook ball like Vespi. Not as many revolutions, but Chris Schenkel plays the big hook.
And my teacher, Bo Burton.
I wish I had this much hook. Here's a replay of Vespi with that powerful ball. Sends it out wide, and at one point he has the 4-7-9 standing. The 2-pin goes around the 4-7, gets a break with the 6 off the 9, and an easy spare. Now he'll cut that hook down on the spare. Right.
Action. Speaking of action, tomorrow on ABC Sports, the National Hockey League Stanley Cup playoffs begin. You'll see New Jersey at Pittsburgh, St. Louis at Chicago, or out west, Los Angeles at Calgary. Live regional coverage begins at 1 Eastern, 12 noon Central and Pacific. Then, IndyCar's best hit the streets at the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach, live all tomorrow on ABC Sports. Get comfortable and watch. Bob Vespi has arrived. He is in Toronto along with all of us, a city where energy abounds, even indoors.
C-Spot. C-Spot Run. C-Spot. C-Spot Stay. Introducing something better, the world's first foam protectant. It's a foam so it stays where it's sprayed. No running, no dripping. It deeply cleans, shines, and protects without the mess. So why use an ordinary protectant? Try something better, the protectant with staying power.
Hey, Willard Scott here, talking with the good folks who shop at True Value. The question, is it the personal service or the low prices?
Large selection, low prices, good quality merchandise that they do carry.
You go in the big chain stores and you try to find somebody to answer a question for you.
The value is good, the selection is great.
For personal service and low prices, bring your family to ours, the True Value family of stores.
Yes, it's definitely a personal touch here.
Bowling's best are center stage. An elite field takes aim at their sport's most prestigious title. It's the Firestone Tournament of Champions on ABC's Pro Bowlers Tour next Saturday.
That's next Saturday, but today, Mike Aulby won the first match 251 to 175 over Brad Snell. Now, his opponent is Bob Vespi, who has a 12-pin lead. Mike shooting in the fourth frame. Striking down to Bo Burton.
Thank you, Chris Schenkel. Pete Weber, number one position. You any relation to the Pete Weber that used to make the telecast almost every week last couple of years?
Well, I'm not real sure about that, Bo. It's been such a long time. I'm not real sure what I'm doing here.
What's happened this year? You really have struggled some.
Well, the lane conditions have been real easy. They've been throwing a lot of strikes, and they're giving everybody a chance. And when everybody has a chance, the best players don't always come to the top.
And he believes he's the best, Chris. He's out to prove it in the final match next game.
Now listen to this crowd in Markham, Ontario. Watch this. There's our scout taking out the 7-pin, and now Vespi's back up. A strike up, he can go up by 12. Scout this time, the man with the flag. He was upset thinking that someone in the crowd was clapping the fact that he didn't get them all. I don't think that was the case.
I don't know, Chris. They like to clap when he does poorly, too. You know, Vespi appeals to all. I'll tell you, I really like him. He's very competitive. He's a great showman. Off the lanes, he's quite a different man. He has a very positive, very tough demeanor on the lanes, and he'll do anything to help his game. But he's a pretty nice guy off the lanes. But this is all business out here.
All right, the great striking champion, Bob Vespi. You play with fire, so I guess you have to expect it. He's good, though.
Whew. Alby, with all that experience, a lot of players react to the powerful ball of Vespi. They try to put more on the ball. It's like trying to outdrive your opponent on a golf course and staying within your own game. Let's see if Alby stays very smooth.
Mike Aulby, 5'8", 160 pounds. He's 33 years old. Vespi's 5'11", 170, 25 years old.
Vespi just looking to the side at almost nothing, because I looked over there. There is nothing to look at except maybe some cameras. Right now the match and the game are on. Alby 8-pin lead, 3 in a row, can make it 18, 7th frame. Chris, that is one of the most unusual hits I have seen ever, and it's caused by the powerful angle he has, the medium speed. Now let's watch the pin action. The ball should deflect off the 1, 2, into the 5 and 8. He chops it straight off and leaves a solid 10 on the same time. That's the first double tap I've ever seen.
All out try. We're in Toronto. There's some good news, folks. PBA and ABC announced earlier this week an agreement for a renewal of the Professional Bowlers Tour. It'll mark the 33rd consecutive year on ABC, and we look forward to it. Congratulate both organizations.
The elementary school curriculum needs to stress problem solving as well as self-discipline.
There's nothing like the authentic frosty mug taste of Diet A&W root beer. One taste and it will really bring back memories.
Habits of self-discipline.
He did it. Diet A&W with 100% NutraSweet. Our frosty mug taste brings you back.
Usually Johnny sprays the Krylon spray paint and I get it on me. Not this time.
Look, no runs, no drips, no errors. Dries to the touch in minutes.
The other brand's tacky. Good job. I'm a pro.
For a fast, smooth, professional finish, get Krylon.
I feel Denorex tingling on this side, nothing on the head and shoulder side. I love that tingle, so I tried Denorex for my dandruff. It really came through. The flaking stopped, my scalp doesn't itch.
Denorex with conditioners, the serious dandruff shampoo.
I've switched to Denorex.
It's wall-to-wall excitement as the world's top athletes meet in the finals of the Jeep Superstars. Plus the last major Derby prep race. Next on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
The King of the Hill won last week in Canandaigua, New York. Second time a U.S. Open championship, and then became the king with another win. He will bowl the winner of the IOF Forresters Open. Right now, Bob Vespi wants to get there. Can go up by 16. Bob Vespi is a psych-out artist. He's proud of it.
I do get pretty animated when I do bowl, as people have seen on television in the past. And while I'm on the lanes during a tournament, some players, they either love me or hate me, but, you know, they always watch me, and that's the main thing.
Tell you what, he's pumped up now. That was his best shot of the match, the 7th frame. Has a 16-pin lead, can make it 26.
Originally from Alby, New York, now in the Fort Lauderdale area of Florida.
His reaction, he likes it, extends to 26. His pin lead through 8 frames. Can Alby answer?
Mike leaving a 3-pin.
Couple of bad breaks on top of each other by Mike Aulby. First place, he leaves the solid 8-10 split in the 7th frame, which would have given him a nice lead at that point. Took the wind out of his sails, and right on top of it, Vespi capitalizes with 2 strikes. It's fun to bowl against Vespi, but not when he's hammering you.
Mike Aulby's 66th television appearance. Again, reminding you that tomorrow, the National Hockey League Stanley Cup playoffs begin. New Jersey at Pittsburgh, St. Louis, Chicago, out west, Los Angeles at Calgary. Live regional coverage begins at 1 Eastern, 12 noon Central and Pacific. Then the Indy Cars. Can Mario Andretti repeat? They'll be on the streets out west, the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. Oh, he sort of needed that.
Well, it keeps him in the match, Chris. Good point. Possible 222 for Alby. And with a guy like Vespi, you never know what's going to happen. He may strike out. He may get 5 pins. He may get 4 pins. He may throw it in the gutter. Who knows? He's exciting. Or he might break the pins.
Yes. The best finish this year was 7th in Phoenix and the Johnny Petraglia Open.
Get over with.
Vespi's put himself in a position where he just needs a real solid good count on this first ball to shut out Alby and bowl Pete Weber for the championship. Nothing Alby can do but watch. That's enough for a victory.
9's enough, isn't it?
He asked the scorekeeper, 9 enough, and that is correct, Mr. Vespi. Even if you miss it, 225. The best Alby can do is 222. I'll tell you, Chris, I have watched this match. It was a tough break by Alby, was the undoing. However, the championship match, Weber and Vespi, don't miss that. That's going to be fun.
Over Mike, it's $13,000. To add to his $60,000 he's already won this year. He won in Las Vegas, as you may remember. 4th telecast this year. He's had 1 win, a 3rd, a 4th, and now another 3rd. We'll give you Alby's score later. This week, Choice Hotel International's Tip of the Week features the style changes of colorful Carmen Salvino.
ABC Sports presents a winning never gets old bowling tip, sponsored by Choice Hotels International. Here's bowling great Dick Weber.
With me today is 17-time PBA national champion and senior tour winner Carmen Salvino. Carmen, in the late 1950s, you had such a classic style, everybody envied you.
That's true, Dick. I used to hold the ball real high. I had a big push away in those days. The ball went over the top of the backswing, and I had such a tremendous arm swing that the pins really did mix around, and I got a lot of strikes.
But, Carmen, lately I've noticed you've lowered that ball in the setup. What's the reason for that?
Well, Dick, as you get a little older, you have to modify your game so you make it a little more simpler, so you get more repeatability. And as a result, I brought the ball down lower. I've got a lower backswing, but I still get a lot of lift on the ball, and I still get that great mix. So it goes to show you, no matter what your age is, you can change your game, you can still bowl good, and still have a great time in this great sport of bowling.
Remember, with those simple adjustments, you can enjoy the sport of bowling and increase your average. Remember, winning never gets old.
Look for more ABC Sports Winning Never Gets Old bowling tips, sponsored by Choice Hotels International.
There are gut balls and gutter balls, and sometimes the trophy falls. But no matter what, you'll love the bowlers who have it all on ABC Sports Home Video, Bowling the Perfect Game. Call 1-800-4ABC-VCR to order bowling's colorful history, narrated by Chris Schenkel and Nelson Burton Jr. This collector's home video can be yours to enjoy for only $14.98 plus $3.95 shipping. That's 1-800-4ABC-VCR.
You know, I'm always teaching bowlers how to put fingers into the shot, not just the ball. But you can also use your fingers to save money. If you're 50 or over, just call 1-800-4CHOICE, and you can save 30% at Choice Hotels like quality, comfort, Clarion, and sleep. 30%. Now that's what I call aiming for the pocket.
Travelers 50 and over save 30% at any of the 7 brands in the Choice Hotels family.
In your quest to master the perfect bowling score, Columbia introduces the new Power Torque. It's beyond reactive. Columbia bowls the world over.
If you're looking into faucets, Peerless means plenty. America's leading do-it-yourself faucets. In hundreds of styles and finishes. All made with solid brass valve construction. And all warranty for as long as you own your home. The best made, best back do-it-yourself faucets in America. That's what Peerless means.
Come on, you play the game and you're looking
Bud Light, the official beer of League Bowling and the Professional Bowlers Tour, brings you the Bud Light Bowling Hall of Fame Tournament. Registration for local qualifying is going on now. Contact your local bowling proprietor for more information.
Mario Lemieux and Pittsburgh beat the Devils. Chicago hosts St. Louis. Or Los Angeles invades Calgary. The Stanley Cup playoffs begin Sunday live on ABC.
Here in the Toronto area, Mike Aulby defeated Snell 251 to 175. Then Vespi defeated Alby 235 to 202. Now, red hot, both of them, Weber and Vespi, for the championship match with Del Ballard, the king of the hill, waiting.
Solid field, Chris. 160 players. Average game 207, 218. That's about the median average for the PBA Tour. Top 24. As you see Rich Aboud in the background. Arnold going to the Stone next week. Tough Tony Jr. He'll be in the King of the Hill match. The King right there. The Rock. Nice guy. Mike Edwards. Native American. Boy of the Year. Dave Ferraro. Don Moser, a solid 93. Brian Goebel improving every week. Hutchison, the alternate to Firestone next week if somebody can't go to the starting gate, Chris, as we have a 52-man field next week.
That's right. And, of course, next week is the top purse of the year, total of $300,000. And this is the field that will be competing.
All solid, proven champions to get to the Firestone. Wayne Webb, he's won that tournament. Monticelli, looking forward to it. Johnny Petraglia.
And the first-time qualifiers, count them, 11 first-time qualifiers. All right, and with Brad Snell not winning today, Jim Pensack of Ohio breathes a sigh of relief because he was on the bubble. Now he'll bowl.
Here's two men that love to win, and they're very demonstrative. This could be a great match.
Yeah, baby. That's the way to do it. 10 like that. Come on.
So the pep talk and the psyching has begun. And here's a champion, Pete Weber. 19 titles. He is one of 3 Triple Crown champions.
The half 10, not a bad start. Peter really hasn't thrown a ball in a championship round for almost a year. You look at his style, very quickly through it. He throws the ball straight on through that big arc. Now he's after the 10.
Almost with a vengeance, he gets rid of the 10. That's Pete.
I can say that there is no love loss between these two players on the lanes. They have a lot of fun together off the lanes, but they are serious cats out there in the championship and a lot of money at stake.
Now he's turned on. Pete Weber and Bob Vespi.
Well, the pin's showing a little resistance to these powerful balls as both Vespi and Weber lead the soft 10 on the right-hand lane.
This is for the championship. $43,000 to the winner, the runner-up 22.
Take now, come on. What are you doing?
Well, there are no boards in synthetic lanes, as you see the ball drifting high of Bob Vespi, but if we were talking boards, most bowling centers sport 39 boards that across the lane. He'd have missed about 4 or 5 left of target there, so he walks away with a pretty easy spare. At least he has a reprieve, the 3-6.
Come on.
You see both players wiping off both oil and water. There's oil from the front part of the lane, and the players have reported that some of that is water from the back part. We cleaned the lanes about 15 minutes before the air time. And on these synthetic lanes, I believe there was not enough evaporation, so that's reported a combination of oil and water on the balls.
You tell him, Pete. Kim Weber, on tour full-time with her husband, Pete, has a well-defined role that makes her happy.
Well, Pete does his thing out on the lanes, and I do my thing. I do some accounting out here that keeps me real busy all year long, and it involves me with the players. And as far as Pete's bowling, I really don't say too much. That's his job out there. I just am out here to lend him support and encouragement.
You do it.
Next to John Jowdy. Lovely young lady we've known a long time.
Pleasant reaction by Kim Weber on the back-to-back solid 10s by Peter. However, Peter doesn't like this as he tries to stare down the 10. Ooh.
Meanwhile, his mother, Juanita, and her husband, Dick Weber, are in the Baton Rouge area for the WIBC. That is Juanita. Now, friends, if you're looking for a bargain in Toronto, a sure bet is Chinatown.
I wasn't writing. No.
I shouldn't have to tell you this, but you can save money on home repairs with the right wood preserver. Thompson's Wood Protector has more of everything wood needs to protect it. The Parkers used the wrong brand. Now look at that fading. The Furmans tried something else, and they still got water damage. They'll be calling.
Thompson's Wood Protector. Superior protection from water, sun, and mildew damage.
Thompson's Wood Protector. It's #1 for wood.
Alan Spindle is one of the many people slowly waking up to the fact that only coast is the eye-opener.
At the first tickly itch of athlete's foot, Gasonex. Killing those grungy fungi before they get racket and burning. Go get that can now, or else don't blame Gasonex.
Their sights are set. IndyCar's best are California's dreaming as they take off at the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. Sunday on ABC Sports.
Yes, we welcome Max Burdick, Vice President of Special Events, Children's Miracle Network, the organization that the PBA is so proud to help support. Max, just back from Disney World, where he worked with their spokesperson, Marie Osmond. Now Bob Vespi. Spare up shooting in the 4th frame. Coming into that shot, these two pros in the championship match were 1 pin apart. Well, let's see, 2 pins left here. It's the 3-10. We'll pick up a tip if Bob makes it here. Look how he does it. Not the way. So it's an open frame and disaster early. Now he trails by 14. But calmly, now watch him. He'll come back. He's over in the left lane. Pete Weber looking totally away. Looking off toward Bo. Okay. So let's go to Bo.
Well, Chris Schenkel at the King of the Hill, Del Ballard. Del, last week you were all pumped up. You won the U.S. Open and went out there and just crushed him in the King of the Hill match. However, last night you missed the show with a very disappointing final game. Does that change your attitude for today's match?
Not a bit. I think it's going to help me out because I was really upset about last night, and I've been down on myself about it, and I'm going to get my 4 or 5 grand back today.
All right, a very confident King. Back to you, Chris.
Where he needed a strike. Spare up, he leaves the 4-pin. Single pin spares now, he's had 4. 3 10s and this 4 on the right lane. He always does well if he doesn't get down on himself. Took his time, and remarkable young man, 30 years old. This bowling series is 32 years old, so Pete wasn't born when we began in 1962. Coming up next on Wide World of Sports, world-class athletes meet in Cancun for the finals, the Jeep Superstars, plus the Run for the Roses only 2 weeks away from today. Kentucky Derby hopefuls take off in the Wood Memorial Invitational in New York. That's live. And a look at a hockey sensation, Mario Lemieux. And it is a 4th 10.
Weber, good. Talking to the pins, he says, I didn't mean to hit the pocket like I was supposed to, but he's got a 12-pin lead and an easy spare. Asking about the pin placement. Is the pin far enough back? Now, if the machine moved that pin over when it picked it up and reset it, it shall be reset. If not, by the natural action of the ball and pin action, it stays where it is right now. Actually easier right there.
Coming over to make the decision was Johnny Campos. He and his wife Janine, proud parents of a baby boy yesterday. That's right. Adrian Juan to go along with baby Amanda.
Mr. Strike up and close the gap.
Now a 22-pin lead.
Weber has not had a good break in this match. Vespi has carried every time he hit the pocket, but once can take the lead here in the 7th with a 3rd consecutive strike.
Come on now.
And for Bob Vespi, second single pin spare, both 10s. Had a 3-10, he missed.
Spares are an adventure for Vespi. He lives by the strike ball.
Okay, this week's trophy landed in downtown Toronto.
Around the turn of the century, in a small Detroit carriage shop, Harvey Firestone met a fellow young inventor named Henry Ford. Firestone tires have been seen almost everywhere ever since. On Fords, Chevrolets, tractors, trucks, Indy Lights, and Saturns. Firestone, America's tire since 1900.
Usually Johnny sprays the Krylon spray paint and I get it on me. Not this time.
Look, no runs, no drips, no errors. Dries to the touch in minutes. The other brand's tacky. Good job.
I'm a pro.
For a fast, smooth, professional finish, get Krylon.
When the camera starts to roll, even one flake of dandruff can ruin it all. That's why I use Head & Shoulders. You know, it's even better than it was just a couple of years ago. Today, it gets to 10 times more of the places dandruff starts. Because great hair can't have flakes.
Bowling's best are center stage. An elite field takes aim at their sport's most prestigious title. It's the Firestone Tournament of Champions on ABC's Pro Bowlers Tour next Saturday.
Yes, a year ago, Mark McDowell was the Firestone champion. $300,000. All winners in the field bow. Firestone Tournament of Champions.
3rd jewel of the Triple Crown. It's the best. This man knows what it's like to win all those events. And right now, he's leading the inaugural tournament in Toronto.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10.
Well, that was really an ugly 10-pin. Weber pulling the ball inside his strike line and had no angle of attack on the pocket. Almost leads to 5-10. He barely tilted that 5 out. That would have been quite an embarrassing moment.
You know, big game in this area is 5 pins.
I have played the 5 pins, Chris. They're played with a small ball, and it's a tough game. You can get 0 and still throw the ball in the field of play. Now for Pete Weber, he's wiping off the ball. We said there was oil and water. Reports from the lane men said the oil is from the front part of the lane. The water is from a lane cloth that cleans the ball after it hits the pins, so should have no effect on the shot.
That is only his second strike, ladies and gentlemen, in 8 frames. Slugging it out at the lightweight limit of 135 pounds, Pete Weber. At 170, that's a little over the middleweight. These two are punching it out on the bowling lanes.
Vespi, who covers a lot of boards on the lanes, will start on the left side of the approach because he plays the big hook. He'll slide in this arrow, and actually he's playing a gutter shot. He'll release the ball and be out around the first arrow and extend way on down, almost near the edge. He needs a strike to take the lead.
If that one don't strike, nothing will.
These two pros are bowling for $65,000. 43 to the winner, and a chance to go against the king of the hill and pick up 5 more, Del Ballard, or 22 runner-up.
Another power player, but Weber is going to drift a little bit more to this angle. He'll be right around the center with a little loft in this area. 9th frame, key shot. Way off mark with that shot, just almost straight at the head pin.
Pete's last win was the Touring Players last year in Indianapolis, and Vespi's last win was at Tucson in 1992.
Situation for Pete Weber. If he strikes 3 times in the 10th frame, he would take a 2-pin lead and force Vespi to strike. It's all up for grabs in the final frame. Championship match. That one forces Vespi to mark. The next one would force Vespi to strike. Vespi. Weber needs a good count. 8, 9, or 10 forces Bob Vespi to strike on the first ball, the 10th frame. This is the title match.
What a finish.
Well, Bob Vespi's going to see what he's made of. I think he's a tough player to be around for a long time. However, this would tremendously bolster his confidence. He needs a strike to win. Weber wins title number 20.
It's a 10-pin that plagued Weber, and now the 10-pin has come back to plague Vespi.
Ooh, Chris Weber's 20th title. Listen to these names he joins with 20 titles. Alby, Richter, Holman, Johnson, his dad, Weber, Roth, and Anthony.
Wow. Final score in a moment, but ABC Sports presentation of the Professional Bowlers Tour will return after this message and a word from our ABC station.
Pepto-Bismol tablets. As it coats, Pepto delivers powerful medicine directly to your stomach, right where you hurt. Pepto-Bismol. The one that coats is the only one you need.
C-Spot. C-Spot Run. C-Spot. C-Spot Stay. Introducing something better. The world's first foam protectant. It's a foam so it stays where it's sprayed. No running, no dripping. It deeply cleans, shines, and protects without the mess. So why use an ordinary protectant? Try something better. The protectant with staying power.
Sunday on day one. This is the story you've never heard before. Jeffrey Dahmer. What made this child a monster, and why wasn't killing enough? Day one, Sunday.
Harrisburg Copiers wants to say something that may shock you. Don't buy a copier, buy a copy for 2.5 cents. With your 2.5 cents copy, you'll also receive a Minolta High Productivity Copier, which includes a recirculating document feeder, automatic two-sided copying, and 20-bin sorter. Included in your 2.5 cent copy, you'll also get toner, developer, service, everything you need to make a copy. So why buy a copier when you can get a copy for 2.5 cents? You can only get your 2.5 cents copy from Harrisburg Copiers, the innovators in copier technology. Call for information today.
The Lilac City Tournament in Rochester, New York is paying out $1 million this year.
Join us as we celebrate our 25th year.
Enter the high-paying men's team event,
the women's team event,
and the mixed team event.
Win with the Lilac.
There's 18 great events
with doubles, singles, and 4 new super singles events. We plan to pay out $1 million.
Call 1-800-36-LILAC now.
Win with the Lilac.
Skinhead gets probation for killing a black man. Next on you in Texas.
Hello, I'm Jim McKay reporting from Aqueduct Racetrack just outside New York City. We'll be going back to bowling in a minute. Coming up on ABC's Wide World of Sport, we'll have the Wood Memorial Invitational. That's the last big Eastern prep race before the Kentucky Derby. Also coming up, we'll return to Cancun for the finals of the Jeep Superstars. NFL Superstars going against American Olympians. The Superstars. Also, with the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs beginning tomorrow, we'll take an up-close look at the remarkable story of Mario Lemieux. That's all coming up next at 4:30 Eastern on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Champion has been determined. In match one, Alby defeated Snell 251 to 175. In steps Vespi, eliminating Alby 235 to 202. Then being kissed by his wife Kim, Pete Weber wins the championship 206 to 203. Great match. There you see the amount of money won: $43,000, Vespi $22,500, Alby $13,000, and Brad Snell $10,000. Most unusual afternoon, and our first time that the PBA has come to Toronto, Canada, Bo.
You're right, Chris, and we've had terrific King of the Hill matches all year long, and last week Ballard was fantastic as he won the U.S. Open from the deep inside line, and then bowled a 227 game against an outmatched Jason Couch. Ballard is a consummate pro. He's going to try to get every dollar he can, and I look at this match, Weber and Ballard. Ballard has lost 2 out of the 3 times he's bowled Pete Weber, and remember that infamous gutter ball a little more than 2 years ago. A great match coming up, King of the Hill at stake.
So it's last week's winner of the United States Open, which Pete Weber has won a couple of times. And so there they go. They're going at each other early. For $5,000, winner take all, a Hoosier, or rather a man from Missouri and a man from Texas.
The show me man, Weber.
Okay.
Just having a little fun out there. 2 of bowling's greats.
Another counter punch.
Come on.
You just won't see a style any better than Ballard Jr. Takes the full approach, just everything in perfect position. Draw the perpendicular and parallel lines, and Ballard has them all together. A terrific release, and you can see a lot of confidence in that release after his U.S. Open win last week.
Hook, hook, hook. Yeah! Come on!
This is the type of match that requires little commentary because Dell is mic'd. And boy, he lets loose.
Well, he's playing a pretty deep inside line, really, for his amount of oil is on the lane. So you're going to leave some 10 pins.
Okay. Native of Columbus, Ohio, married to Pete Weber. Her name is Kim.
Kim Weber speaking with Carolyn Dorn, a top woman pro on the women's tour.
Something other than a 10 pin.
Again, I might not know how to make it.
Ballard has accomplished a great deal as a professional, but he still has dreams.
Well, bowling's been good to me, and I have a lot of goals left. I would like to win the PBA National to where I could win the Triple Crown, and I would like to win the Firestone one more time. I either seem to bowl well there or I bowl bad there, and hopefully this year it'll be very good.
Markham, a suburb of vast Toronto. If you're looking for a casual lunch, Toronto is definitely a good spot.
Hi, Pat Summerall here at True Value, where the main attraction is personal service. Or is it low prices? Well, let's find out.
They do have sales, and you can tell it's a sale price. It's not just a few pennies. It's a real sale.
I like their quality and their service.
You look for that one star and you trust it, and that's where you go.
For personal service and low prices, bring your family to ours, the True Value family of stores.
Everything I needed to move into my new house, I bought right here.
Ninjas do two things very well. They react. And they attack. Nothing blows them away like a ninja. The AMS Ninja, available today.
These remind me of an ex-boyfriend of mine named Harry. Harry just sort of sits there, dull and boring and bumpy. Now, these are good. I mean, they got some spark, got some pep, they've got some life to them.
Kellogg's Corn Flakes.
These are Kellogg's Corn Flakes? Maybe I should give Harry another try.
Taste them again for the first time.
Yes, I think Patty and Mike Connor are having a good time. Mike, the commissioner, come in from Akron, where we go to televise the finals of Firestone a week from today. Pete Weber, the IOF Foresters Open champion.
Trails by 31, fourth frame. Pete Weber just having some fun. I've known this young man from almost the embryonic stage. Started bowling at age 2, bowled his first 300 game at age 12. He joined the men's league when he was 14, the very first game he bowled in league was 300. All the talent in the world.
Another 10-pin, number 7.
Well, we have Brad Snell doing tips on the 248, Chris, and we can have Pete Weber come in and do 10-pin tips because if he makes this, it'll be his 7th consecutive conversion in less than 2 games.
That's right. And his mom, Juanita, bowling in the WIBC. Pete said he thought for about the 35th time. I'm not sure that's the correct number, but we wish Juanita no 10-pin. There's nothing but strikes. Look at that perfection. Count them, 5 in a row on a 41-pin lead. The king is here.
Ballard likes this.
I think that would help.
The only time Del Ballard has defeated Weber in television was in 1987 when he won the U.S. Open for $100,000, defeating him 247, 209.
Del wanted that 6 and 6 more. Those true values always there for a perfect game, Bo, 100,000.
Well, they'll have to wait till next week. Player could shoot 300 and win the tournament, pick up 160,000 quick dollars. Ballard straight ball, cross lane.
These professionals can be tremendous showmen.
Back to the match. Weber trailing by 40 with that great strike ball. Has a potential 249 game. He can get right back in. Weber with a little drift to his left. Very much like his father. These are his positions. Here's the shot.
Geronimo.
Action of the head pin. Sideboard all the way around to the 10. The Chris Schenkel scout goes in action. No doubt about that one. Whoever strikes here, he'll start thinking match in winning the King of the Hill title. Hey.
Boy, I'll tell you what.
What can you do when you leave a bunch of 10 pins like that? A little funning. Del Ballard say put a little more fingers in it, but if Pete would just soften up and go a little wider and take a chance, he would carry the 10. However, he's in trouble now.
Imagine that, covering 8 10-pin spares in a short period of time.
Chris, for the pros, with proper technique, the 10-pin is actually the easiest spare on the lane to convert.
Too slow over here last time. Payback for the gutter ball. Remember that. Payback for the gutter ball.
The gutter ball, where he gave the title to Weber. 3-2-91, March 2nd.
Other than a 4-pin, this guy has been perfect. 8-frame strike, a 50-pin lead. Oh, boy.
Well, I find out I don't have a senior on my name.
King of the Hill match just about in the books. Let's look forward to the Firestone. The format's a little different in the Firestone, with 52 champions going to the starting gate. Practice and Pro-Am on Tuesday. Qualifying 16 games on Wednesday, 16 more on Thursday, 16 on Friday. A 48-game tournament in Akron, Ohio at Riviera Lanes. And both these players will be there.
Del Ballard, the king of the hill bowling, Pete Weber. Del in defense, having won over Jason Couch last week, 227 to 191.
Ballard walks here, releases there.
That's all right.
Just eating them up there, Chris Shankle.
Yes.
What's our high game bowled in the King of the Hill so far this year? The highest I can remember is that 269 that Ricky Ward bowled in,
I think I'll throw it in the gutter.
Sayville. So
that's true. Oh,
with 2 more strikes, he'd be in the 270.
Keep it on the thing.
Okay.
.279 high ball.
He can just tie it.
I got slow on that 4-pin. Yeah, really. It was slow on that 4-pin.
He's thinking that 4-pin might have cost him $100,000.
And it's the second 4-pin of the match. And our scorekeeper, Butch Soper, tells us he'll be in the 260, and Butch is headed back to California, not qualified for this year's Firestone. He did it. He did it.
Is he having fun or what?
Yeah. Couldn't resist, could he?
Oh, that's great. Del Ballard, you're a great champion, and you're all right.
Okay, Del Ballard remains the king of the hill, even with a channel shot. Pete Weber is the IOF champion.
A 40-year-old woman who loves a kid cereal. Just doesn't add up.
Brave adults challenge the notion that Kellogg's Frosted Flakes are just for kids.
I face 5 alarmers, and I can't face my 5-year-old at breakfast.
Proving again that even the most courageous can't resist that sweet crunch in cold milk.
I love them, but I can't tell you why.
The secret's out. Frosted Flakes have the taste adults have grown to love. They're great.
Dear Thompsons, anticipating spring rains, I treated my redwood lawn furniture with Thompson's Water Seal waterproofing.
Honey?
My brother-in-law Louis used a different brand on his redwood gates. Then the rains came. After the most intense rain in almost 100 years, my furniture was like new. His gates actually swelled shut. Thompson's has no match. Sincerely, Lowell Salzer.
Now from Thompson's, a set of 8-inch neon Stanley screwdrivers. A $2.99 value, free by mail with any Thompson's purchase.
Presenting the Yardman 3-in-1 self-propelled mower. It mulches, bags, discharges, has a 6-speed drive, and a ferocious 5-horsepower engine, all for the price of much tamer mowers. Yardman mowers and tractors, made in America.
They ate the same things, got the same heartburn, but his antacid is very different. His Tums has calcium. Most antacids don't. Original Rolaids uses an aluminum salt. These 2 use aluminum and magnesium. Of all these, only Tums helps wipe out heartburn and gives you calcium you need every day.
Something my body needs anyway. I like that.
For heartburn plus gas, Tums makes an anti-gas antacid too.
This is the way it went this afternoon. Del Ballard, 267. Weber's 206. The King's still there. Weber, the IOF Foresters champion, 43 for that. 22.5 for Vespi, so on down the line. And Del Ballard with another $5,000. Congratulations, Mr. Weber.
Well, thank you, Chris. It's a great pleasure. I'd like to thank the people from IOF Foresters for sponsoring our tournament. They're a great charity organization, and to show my appreciation, I'm going to take $1,000 of my check and give it to the IOF.
There you go. Okay. Mr. Ballard, King, sir, Your Majesty, $5,000 for you.
Thank you, and will also donate $1,000 of my King of the Hill money. It's a great charity.
The channel shot was not intentional.
Oh, not a bit. I just wanted to let him know that I can throw it in the gutter and still beat him.
Dr. Simon Mock proprietor here has a check for our friend Pete Weber. Doctor?
Thank you very much. I'm very glad here to present this to you, Pete.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
And I know Kim might spend that, so Bob Fagan is here, and the trophy is something very tangible for you.
Well, Pete, we're not going to hand this to you. I understand you have a problem with that. On behalf of the well over 1 million members of the Independent Order of Foresters, first of all, thank you for your tremendous generosity, both of you. Children's Miracle Network and the IOF Foresters Bowling for Miracles greatly appreciates that. The Foresters are very, very excited about our relationship with the PBA and the fact that you've adopted the IOF Foresters Bowling for Miracles charity as your charity, and that's great. And what better place than here in Toronto, our home?
What two better bowlers than today? Pete, this is a game of 10 pins. We got to go.
Well, that's all right, Chris. I got the check. I got the trophy. Bob threw a great shot when he needed it. He's a great champion, and he'll be back again.
Good luck to you and Kim. See you next week at the Firestone Tournament of Champions. So long.
The Professional Bowlers Tour has been brought to you by Kellogg's, the best to you each morning. By Firestone, America's tire since 1900. And by Thompson's Water Seal waterproofing formula, the brand to trust for all your waterproofing needs. Coming up next on ABC's Wide World of Sports, world-class athletes meet in Cancun for the finals of the Jeep Superstars. Plus, Kentucky Derby hopefuls take off in the Wood Memorial Invitational Live. And a look at hockey sensation Mario Lemieux. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader